was a time that I was broke. I did not have any money. 500 rupees in my bank account. My wife was pregnant, and that was the starting point of my journey, and I did not know what to do next. And then there is today. In the last few years, I've been able to build a multi-million-dollar business from the comfort of my home, and I'm pretty sure that you can do it too. The reason I'm recording this video is not to just show off and just explain, how great I am and stuff like that. I'm just here to inspire you that yes, it does not matter what your past is. All that matters is where you want to go. So take notes and let's get straight in. Hey there, Siddharth Rajsekar here, and in this video, I want to share my story. Some of you may not know this, but I'm a college dropout. I don't have a degree next to my name. I still remember back in the year 2001 when I went to check out my results in my board exams. I scored 28% in my maths board exams and I failed. And when I came back home, I could not show my face to my family. Most of the people in my family are well educated and stuff like that. And then when I came back home and I told them that I failed, it was one of the most lowest points in my life. And I'm so glad that it happened because in a few months, I was able to go and take up a course that I really loved in music production. And I got into sound engineering in 2001. And by the end of that 1 year, that course, I scored 92%. So the first lesson I would like to share with you is it does not matter what your failures are. Okay. All that matters is you putting your heart and being passionate about something and pursuing that. Because what happens is when you are asked to do something that others have asked you to do, your heart is not there, but you just go and do it. You're not going to perform in your fullest level. And that's how it was for me in college. I just went and took a PCMB stream. I was not interested in it, but I still went through it. Somehow made through in school, but college I did not make through it. So today I don't have a degree next to my name, but that 1 year when I did my diploma in sound engineering, I was able to score a 92% because I loved what I was doing. And my first job that I got was as a 19-year-old kid. So I was 19 years old teaching people who were 40 years old, people twice my age. And that was the time I understood the power of becoming a master of a craft. Like I was a master at that point of time in teaching music production, using these softwares and stuff like that. And because of mastering that skill over the span of 2 to 3 years, I got an opportunity to go to Dubai. And I used to make ringtones. If you remember back in the day, the polyphonic ringtones on the mobile phones, I'm talking about 2005, 2006. I want to reveal a small little secret here. I was the guy making these ringtones along with an amazing team. And we used to supply ringtones to Airtel, to Tata Indicom, to Reliance, and to EMI Arabia, and to Verizon, and T-Mobile, and US-based service providers. And that was the time I learned how to manage people. I learned how to manage projects. I was working on Excels. My role evolved from a creative role to a more administrative role. And of course, I loved both. So I'm so glad that I've been blessed with some amazing bosses who gave me the freedom to express myself in different areas and roles, even though I had not studied. So I quickly grew from starting point with a 4-member team in the company, and we grew to around 35, 40 employees. And I was heading an entire department doing work for Tata Teleservices and stuff like that. Now, another thing happened in the year 2011. That was the time I lost my job. CDMA networks were transitioning with the iPhone launch, and the GSM networks, and Tata Indicom was transitioning to Docomo and stuff like that. And that was the time my boss, I still remember the day he called me into his cabin. He said, "Sid, you've been a great employee in this company, but I'm so sorry. I got to let you go. Here's your pink slip, and this vertical does not exist anymore." Overnight, after working in that company for more than 5 years, I had to really think about a switch. And that was the time I decided, okay, let me not get back to a job, but let me start something of my own. Many people don't know this. After 8 years of being in the corporate world, that's when I decided to get into entrepreneurship by starting my own digital agency. So what did I do? I went and picked up a course in social media on how to launch a social media agency. I did that course over a weekend along with my business partner and my cousin, back in the year 2011. And end of the year 2011, we launched our social media agency with just 3 of us. Now, the best part is a year before that, I had started to build up some new skills on WordPress, and I was building websites and stuff. And I still remember the first website project that I got was a tourism website where somebody wanted me to build a website for their different travel packages and stuff. So I built the website. It was a 30,000 rupee project, and that's what got the agency business going. And then, a long story short, we were able to build that agency from, again, a 3-member team to a 35-member organization within a span of 5 years. We got to do some amazing work for people like Tony Robbins, for Jack Canfield, Robert Kiyosaki, Harv Eker, Brian Tracy, Tony Buzan. You name all these big names in the personal development world. Thanks to the networks that we had built, I was able to do projects for them. And we've done campaigns where we were spending like 10,000 pounds per day, 15,000 pounds per day, where I was spending my clients' money for their campaigns. And with their money, I was actually learning. Okay, I was learning campaign, I was learning performance marketing, I was learning landing pages optimization, a whole bunch of other stuff. So what I'm here to tell you through this journey is that, again, it comes back to skill building. So in the first phase of my journey, when I was moving from sound engineer to administrator, I learned a lot of new skills. And then those administration skills helped me launch my own agency. So I was able to build teams much faster. I was able to understand and delegate and be a better project manager because I was doing a lot of project management before that. And I started to build these new skills, technology skills, marketing skills, performance marketing skills, advertising skills, creative skills. So I started to do a lot of stuff even in the media space because I was a sound engineer. All those skills were helping right now. When I was doing video editing, I used to send video proposals to my clients. In those days, I'm talking about 2011, 2012, not many people were doing much videos. So I used to get an inquiry, and rather than traveling and meeting that client, I would send them a video proposal within 15 minutes in a mind map. And then when I would meet the client, it would be after they have watched my videos. I've closed a lot of high ticket deals because of using the power of videos and the skills that I had gained during that span of time. And then what happened was by the year 2018, I had hit a threshold in my own business because I was not making much money personally. After paying for teams, after paying tools, after paying taxes, after paying the real estate costs, as an entrepreneur where everybody thought I was successful from the outside, I knew how much cash flow I had. I did not have much cash flow. When I would take my wife out for a dinner, I would open the menu card and I would see in the menu card and look on the right side, and whichever was the cheapest item, I would buy that. And it was a very pathetic feeling. Okay. And my wife used to ask me, when is this ever going to change? And I was just hopeful, saying that I was telling her, yes, one day it will change. The situation will change. But what I realized was that I wanted to start my own business so that I can be my own boss in the year 2011. But by the time I came to 2018, I had more than 30 plus bosses. All of my clients were my bosses. I did not have freedom. I did not have financial freedom. I did not have time freedom also. And that's when I decided, okay, let me now take a step back and let me start building and selling digital products rather than selling services. Because when you're selling a service, the only way you can scale is with a team. And the only way that you can make money is by trading your own time. And my wife was pregnant for the second time. My second child was about to be born, and I wanted to spend more time with my family. And when we moved to Chennai, I consciously decided that I'm going to be following one mentor who's a master of this. He was making over $1 million a month. His name is Vic from the US, and I completely surrendered to his system. So in the year 2018, I was watching a webinar, and in that webinar, something clicked in my mind, and I said, okay, I'm going to follow this person. If this person tells me to stand on one leg and send an email, I will just do that. If he would tell me to, take my left hand, put in my left ear and record videos, I would blindly do that because he was getting results. So I completely surrendered to his process. And during that phase of the 3 to 6 months in 2018, I was able to take my income from scratch. I'm talking about in a knowledge business, in a, digital product business, from scratch to hitting my first $20,000 a month, my first $25,000 a month within 6 months. Now, why did that work? 3 principles. Okay, please note down these 3 principles. The first principle, what my mentor shared with me, he said, time is not your most valuable asset, but your focus is your most valuable asset. And that hit me so hard because I was not focusing on one thing. I was focusing on multiple things. So how I implemented this is I deleted all social media apps from my phone. I unsubscribed from all emails, and I decided to follow just one mentor for 90 days. In fact, I did it for more than 90 days, for 6 months. And that's what helped me get the results. Okay. The second principle that actually helped me break through: systems work, people fail. If I give you a 6-step recipe to make a pizza, a system, and if you change the order of the steps, are you going to get a pizza? You're not going to get pizza. Now, that was the problem I was facing before. I was watching hundreds of videos on YouTube. I'd picked up many courses. And when I was trying to put all of them together, I was getting confused and I was not getting results. And when I followed my mentor, and exactly when I followed his steps, his sequential implementation steps, I started to get results. So systems work, people fail, because when I was on my own, I was failing. And the third principle that I learned during that phase where I was able to, see that success is my mentor told me, he said, don't be cheap on your journey towards greatness. So if you want to be great in any business, in any field of your career, you can't be cheap. And I'll tell you how cheap I used to be. I used to download cracked softwares. I used to torrent courses thinking like I'm overly smart and stuff. But that was the time I was broke. And from that day, from when I set up my business, I started to pay my GST on time. I set up, did all the compliances, and every month I give in charity. And I do not buy anything, or I don't get any tool unless I have bought it. So I buy tools, I buy information, even every single software on my system is all bought because of the value exchange, because what goes around comes around. If you're trying to be overly smart, thinking that you can get stuff for free and, do all the cracked stuff, it'll hit you in some other point of your business. Because in my life, when I was doing all of that cracked software stuff, I was broke. And when this changed, everything changed. So the third principle is don't be cheap on a journey towards greatness. What goes around comes around. And of course, the next part of my journey is I just kept following those principles. And today we have over 20,000 members in my community, built a multi-crore business in the online space. And I only have 3 employees working for me right now. And I work completely from my home office, as you can see over here. So if you can see right through my journey, whatever I learned, it helped me in the next part. And the best part is you don't need to go through such a long and expensive learning curve that I went through. Okay. For me, the first phase of the journey was I learned new skills in media when I was a sound engineer and stuff. And then when I got into the corporate world, I learned skills of management and administrating and working with teams. And those skills helped me when I launched my agency, whereas I was able to build a team of experts in my agency. And I had hands-on knowledge, and I was able to deploy teams to get stuff done for my clients. So that whole thing helped me. And then when I went through the agency journey, and the burnout that I faced over there, I was able to make the decisions when I started the current business right now on how to keep things lean and how to ensure profitability is really high. So I have a very profitable business right now without having any office and stuff like that. So I just want to sum up by telling you a big thank you for watching this video and getting to know about my real story. And I'm sure you have a journey like that for yourself too. And the best part is you don't have to go through such a long and expensive learning curve as I went through. All you have to do, if you have to bring it down to a simple thing, is don't beat around the bush. Find a mentor who you resonate with and completely surrender to the process. Because sometimes when you try to figure things out on your own, when you're trying to use your intelligence, it actually wastes a lot of time. So I don't want you to waste that much of time like how I did. And see, what got me results in those 3 to 6 months after struggling for 6 years is surrendering to one mentor and surrendering to one process. Okay. So that's the first tip I would like to give you. The second tip I would like to give you is build skills. Okay. Because ultimately people will pay you for what skills you have. Okay. It is not about how much you know, but what problem you can solve in the marketplace with the skills that you have. And the third thing is build communities. Because what I've observed before is I was just having a transactional relationship with my customers. That means they would pay me, I would do the job, and once the time is over, then they would leave. But now what I'm doing is I'm building and nurturing digital tribes and digital communities. And there are 20,000 people in my community. They're getting incredible value. And then as and when I offer new products, I launch new things that actually helps in the cash flow. So in other words, I'm building communities and also creating a situation where I'm having customers for life. Okay. So these are the principles that really helped me on my journey. I hope you found this video useful, and please hit the subscribe button on this channel if you'd like to know more about what I'm doing and how you can get benefited in this fast-paced digital world. And if you want to build a super successful digital business, if you want to know more about that, hit the like button and share your comments below on what were your biggest lessons and takeaways that you got from my journey. Okay. Now the purpose of me sharing my journey is not to show off, like I said in the beginning, is to inspire you so that you can do it faster than me and you can do better than me. And that's my wish for you. Wish you all the best, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.